Hello, everybody. Welcome to my new trade recap of last week. So I had a 4.7% netto gain week, so that was okay. The first trade was silver euro. So we were sitting at this weekly highs. So this was our lower high, lower low, and we were coming back to this weekly highs. And we were in a bearish market, in that bigger bearish W. So yeah, it was a more dangerous trade to take. We needed to take some more partials out because yeah, we were at weekly highs, weekly bearish driver. So that's why we had here on this weekly candle close this Monday, we will close bearish. So yeah, so I looked on the weekly chart and I saw, okay, we have here two weekly bullish candle closes. That last one was also bullish, so I can look for a daily pattern, but with some more aggressively management of my trade. So I went to the daily chart, and what I saw on the daily, we had here that first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, and then that possible fifth leg till the daily minus 27. So for me, this higher low and higher high is just one leg. So this is one leg for me. So yeah. Then normally I drew my Fibonacci from the low to the high. I did that. I drew my daily zone of interest at this whole body. And we didn't have here on this body a 4-hour pattern. So I adjusted till the daily lows because we went till the daily lows here. And then I went till the 4-hour chart. And what I saw on the 4-hour chart was we had here a diesel pattern. So we went back to the downside. We had that first candle, second candle, then the third blue candle close, which is a must for me. One blue candle close before we can take a bullish trade on a diesel. And then we had here that fourth candle not touching it. It's not a problem. If we have one candle in between the diesel box and we touch then with the fifth candle here, the diesel box, then it's okay, it's valid. So that's why I took the limit. And then we went till that head and shoulders that was against us. So we had here our shoulder one, head, shoulder two, and at that 4-hour TP point, we went exactly to the downside. So it played out nicely, that head and shoulders. So that's why we needed to take some aggressively take partials there. So my lot size on this trade was a lot because my forex book is not always that good to trade gold, silver, or platinum. The lot size is not that always accurate, so it's sometimes difficult. So on this trade, I was running 1.2%, already break even, of course, and I had here running 3.7% trade, so that was a lot, really a lot. So I just closed it with 3.7%, and then I wanted to have a solution for it, so I downloaded CTrader. CTrader has an option to put your entry and stop loss and a lot size, and then you can see how much your risk entry was. So on this trade, so I took this trade here, I closed it, this one, and then the second trade, I took it on demo, because I was already running 5% with all the trades from previous week. I closed it and I went till demo because I wanted to take the 2 weeks extension. So then we had another trade here. We had also the diesel, the first candle, the second candle was a blue candle, then the third candle in between, and then here the fourth candle. So this was still valid. We went till the upside for 1.3%. And then I was calculating the lot size on my forex book, and this was a 5% trade on CTrader. So I divided it by 5, and then the lot size was okay on CTrader. So that's a nice tip you can use to calculate your lot size on silver euro pairs. So yeah, just a tip I can give you if you want to have a good lot size calculation. So I took this trade on demo, break even, because we went back till the downside after 1%. I put it on break even like this. So the second trade was GBPAUD. So if I go on the weekly chart, I'll just do it like this. Yes. So on the weekly chart, what we saw was we heading here a very big bullish driver here. This was a possible shoulder one, head shoulder two. It's not that clear. So I was seeing just this low and just this high, one impulse. So then we had here that weekly bullish candle close that previous week. So I could look for a daily possible bullish pattern. So I went to the daily chart. The daily chart, I will delete this daily like this. I will refresh it. So on the daily. So on the daily, what I saw was we had here that push to the downside. Then we had here a push to the downside again. And then we had here the same highs. So we expected also the same lows. So that's why I wanted to see here the same lows. So we had here the same highs, same lows. I wanted to take trade after that daily zone of interest was touched. So I went to the 4-hour, and on the 4-hour, what I saw was, if I delete this, on the 4-hour, I saw here an inverse and then shoulders like this. So why I wasn't in the diesel, because this was on Friday, 11 November. That was not the new week. So we closed above that. Then we were here still Sunday, 11 o'clock. The spreads were too high to enter here. So I entered around 1 o'clock, a little bit around that time, like that. And then we went till the upside. So like this was an entry, stop loss wide enough under that head, and then for take profit at the minus 68 for around 1.7%. But then I was already running around 0.1, 0.2%, and I had a 5% profit already on my FTMO. So I closed all the trades, and eventually we went till 0.98%. So yeah, it was just not a 1% trade, so I couldn't go on break even yet, and then it was a minus 1% loss. So I had there some lucky that I closed all the trades for that 2 weeks extension for that 5% on the week on the FTMO. So that was that trade. Then the next trade was EURGBP. This was already running from last week. So if I go to the weekly, you can see we were also here in a bullish driver here. We had that low here and that high. Everything between that is just a correction for more upside momentum. You can see already the difference between this impulse and this correction. Counter to the trend, very corrective. And then we broke out of it, just a small break out of it. So as you can see, we can make here that shoulder 1 head, reversal pattern, shoulder 2 inverse, and then shoulders. So yeah, that's why I was looking also on that bullish setup. We had also that weekly bullish candle close, very nice one. We had that pattern with us and the bullish driver with us. So that's why I was looking for the long. And then I went to the daily chart, and the daily, what I saw on the daily was we had here that M pattern. We had here that first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, and possible fifth leg to the daily TP. So our first structured daily zone was too high because we didn't touch here the 61.80. So I moved it still the daily lows, as you can see. So I deleted that, removed it to the daily lows like this. And then I wanted to see there a pattern on the daily lows. And what I saw was we had here that first candle, second candle, the third candle, bullish candle close, touched our diesel box. We closed bullish, and then I could look for a buy limit on this diesel box. And we went to the upside for that possible inverse, for that possible head and shoulders that was against us. So we had here at shoulder 1, at shoulder 2, and then we touched it. We went a little bit to the downside, a little bit corrective, and then we went back till that beginning of correction at the daily highs. But I was then running that 5% on the FTMO, so I closed hold the trade around this zone here. It was running around 1.7%. I closed a part of it already for that 5%. So yeah, that's why I was earlier out. Then the next two trades, NZDCHF and EURAUD, was also with the demo count, like silver euro, the last trade, the second one. So if I go to NZDCHF on the weekly chart, you had here a weekly bullish candle close. So we were here in a possible bearish drivers. So we were here in bearish W, and we had here that weekly bullish candle close here. So we weren't, oh, sorry, we were at the monthly, sorry. So we had here that weekly bearish W. Then we had here our first weekly structure here, very nice. And we had here some support, and then we acted as resistance with a weekly bearish candle close. So then I was looking for a nice daily pattern to the downside because, yeah, we had a weekly bearish driver, weekly bearish pattern, and a weekly retrace candle. So I went to the daily chart, and on the daily chart, what I saw was, okay, we had here that bearish W, and we had a possible fake out of that daily bearish W. So my daily zone was then at the daily highs because we were trading above that. And we had a possible inverse and shoulders against us because this was a reversal pattern because we broke above that lower high. So we could make an inverse and shoulders for more upside momentum, which it did afterwards. So I went to the 4-hour chart, and what I saw on the 4-hour chart, we had a bearish W. So we had here that like this. We had here that first leg, second leg, then the third leg, and then I went to sleep. I didn't look at it no more, so we closed below. We had here, yeah, some second bearish W, as you can see. So we had here the first bearish W and then the second, but then it's normally invalid. But yeah, I was waking up around 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and then yeah, the trade was active and we went till the 4-hour TP. So nothing to do about it. It was a good winner. Normally it wasn't. It was invalid anymore, but yeah, I was sleeping then, so I couldn't do nothing about that. So we were active in this trade and went till the downside, and we had here that potential shoulder 1 head, shoulder 2 against us with some resistance wicks in the head. So that's why we went back to the upside. So here I took some 60% out because we were making here a possible inverse and shoulders on the daily. So that's why I took there 60% out of it on the demo account. Then the last trade was EURAUD. So on the weekly chart, we were bullish. We had this weekly bullish M here. I think this is also a bearish candle. It's a bullish candle. So we had a bullish driver, big impulse move. Then we had a possible fake out flag here. So we had some bullish impulse corrective nature already. So at one point we can break out of it. We had here that low, then this high, and we break the low, then the bullish candle, possible fake out, and then we had that weekly bullish candle close. So that was nice to see. So we could look for a daily pattern. So on the daily, what we saw was here that corrective nature that you saw on the weekly. Now you can see it more clear on the daily. So bullish impulse, corrective nature, counters to the trend. Then what I saw was we broke this lower high. So this was lower high, lower low. We broke above it, so we could make a reversal pattern. So I was first drawing my daily zone at this shoulder 1 zone like this, shoulder 1 zone, but it wasn't respected zone. So then I drew it to the daily lows because it wasn't the respected zone of the shoulder 1. So I must moved it to the daily lows. And then I went to the 4-hour, and what I saw, we touched our daily zone of interest. We had here a potential shoulder 1, head shoulder 2, but we didn't touch our 61.80. We didn't touch our 61.80 at the shoulder 1, so this wasn't invalid. And then what I saw was we touched again our daily zone of interest, and what I saw, we had here the first candle, second candle, third candle, then we had the bullish candle close, and then I could take my entry after that bullish candle close. So then the price went a little bit to the downside. The trade was already active at this diesel box, and then we went for around 1.4%, already went break even, and then we went to the downside. So yeah, good trade, nothing to do about it. So that was my trading week. So yeah, So if you have any questions, everybody, you can just ask me, and yeah, see you next week. Bye.